meeting to order. Everybody all right? Okay. Eating. We're going to call the meeting to order. If you would, if we'll stand, go ahead and start with the pledge of allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, to the republic which stands one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Would you lead us in prayer, please?
Heavenly Father, we thank you so much for our many, many blessings, God. Grant us the desires to do what's best for the city, for the kids at school, the community of Hector as a whole, God. Bless John as he leads us and the rest of the council, all the staff that's here in Hector. We appreciate every one of them and let us do our best to carry on your work here. For it's in your name. Amen.
All right, next item on the agenda is going to be review and approval of the minutes from the September 21st meetings. Everybody had an opportunity to review the minutes of that meeting. And if so, is there any questions, comments, or anything in reference to those minutes? If not, I'd entertain a motion to accept the minutes of the September 21st meeting. I have a motion by Carrie. Have a second. JW, all in favor? It's unanimous. Okay, next item on the agenda is going to be reference to the financial report from September 2021. Everybody have an opportunity to review the financial report. Any questions, comments? Okay, if not, I would entertain a motion to accept the financial report from September. Is there a motion to accept that? I have one from John. A second. From Peggy, all in favor? It's unanimous. All right, next item on the agenda is going to be police department report. Chief Hubbard, do you have anything to report for us to the police department?
The only really is we're working on a few breaking and entries and minor thefts. We're working on this, trust me, night and day. And anybody has information about who got from school or over here at Tompkins or even the Baptist church, let me know. I'll keep it confidential.
Okay. All right, and I know, of course, we have now Sergeant Colwell on the road. Is everything once moved as far as like coverage and that sort of stuff? Is it better?
Absolutely. Oh, 100% better. 100% better. I do a lot more during the day and sneak around from midnight quite a bit and literally sneak around.
You've been down my driveway.
I have been.
I thought you knew something.
I have been. Why didn't you call the police? Don't shoot me. I've got to go to school. I'm going to tell you, it's been an absolute pleasure to go to school. Whoever we come up with that takes that position is going to have a very rewarding job. Those kids are wonderful. I've had a blast going up there. I mean, from the elementary to the high school, we have some great kids here and teachers. We are blessed here. We really are. The whole school, some of them didn't know me, some of the teachers, and some of the kids did, most of them did. But
I thought you might be Johnny Bridges shipping around.
I won't comment.
Well, see, we still got that travel trailer that he wants real bad. And I told Paul to make sure he can't get hold of that.
We'll keep an eye on that.
So one thing I do want to bring out too is that Chief Hubbard mentioned the resource position. We are. There's been some interviews trying to obviously locate the person that we think would fit in, I guess, or the school would. I anticipate again. I don't know. I can't give you an idea of when that may be filled. I don't know. It may be. Maybe sooner. It may be sometime towards the November, December range. We're not sure yet. So, but that's kind of where we are on that at this point. All right. Anybody have any questions for Chief Hubbard, or we good to go?
got dogs trying to get into my chickens.
What can you do about them?
Yeah.
You got a right to protect your livestock.
Yeah, I do, but I don't. I really don't want to kill anyone's dog.
We don't, I mean, we've had this issue up here, and I remember, what was it, John, 20 years ago, probably, we passed an ordinance, but the problem with it was, we can't do anything with the dogs. You know, we have to have a dog catcher, we have to have, remember they put the pen outside and I will toot my own horn, but I told them that wasn't gonna work. That's just not gonna work, and it didn't, there's no way that can work. We'd have to have more resources to, if we passed an ordinance now, we're gonna have to have somebody designated to do that and figure out what we're gonna do with the dogs, and it turns into quite a big expense. It turns into more expensive. Or it did back then, there may be some kind of grants and stuff for it now, I don't know.
Well, I know the county was searching potentially, or at least doing feasibility at one time on maybe a county animal shelter. I'm not sure that's what at this point.
Paul's putting out live cat straps. He's gonna stop it.
All right. Next item on the agenda here, I have Parks, Recreation, and Events report. I have Mandy Jerry's here. Mandy, I know that we've got a couple events. I know that the movie equipments came in. But I also know that we have a couple of events that are scheduled. We have, I believe, the Light Night on October the 30th, correct?
Hometown Harvest at the church.
What's it called?
Hometown Harvest.
Hometown Harvest, okay. That'll be on October the 30th.
Mm-hmm.
And what's the times on that again?
Sandy, you may have to help me. Is it 6?
I have to go on.
Let me look. I just seen it. It's on our city page. It is 6 to 8:30.
6 to 8:30, okay.
Yeah.
So, and while we're here, I'll go ahead and make sure. I know that there's been a press release issued that all county municipalities are observing Halloween on October the 30th.
Mm-hmm.
I know that some people were frustrated and aggravated about that. I'll point out that it is always, as long as I can remember, Halloween has been observed on a Saturday if it was on a Sunday since I was little and was doing it myself. This isn't some new development. This is something that's been occurring for 20, 30, 40 years. Probably longer than that. So just, and Saturday will be a good day to do that. We'll do a lot of festivities. So anyway, Halloween in Hector will be observed on the 30th, just as all the other municipalities in the county are observing. So, all right. So we have those. We have the Christmas parade again on December 4th. I'm trying to think. You did tell me that you received a donation today. Is that right?
I got a commercial sized popcorn machine donated to the city for us to use for the movie nights and stuff in the park. I was going to see about buying one tonight, but the lady contacted me and she said she wanted to donate it to the city. So.
Okay. Who was that again?
Ralph and Lonnie Taylor.
Okay, Ralph and Lonnie Taylor. So we're very appreciative to them for that. Get some good use out of that. And then the other thing I have for Parks, Recreation, Events is we talked last month about tables where we can get some prices. You found some.
That's the cheapest ones I've found.
And they'll be.
I think they're $49 and some change.
They are $49.98.
Yeah.
And they're just, it looks like maybe a 6 foot.
I think they're the 6 foot commercial grade stacking table.
Okay. So, and that'd be something that we would get like for events, whether it be Hector Fest, Dog Days, Christmas Parade.
Benefits, anything
those
that I
sorts of
do.
things.
I have some that I've had for 10 years.
Oh yeah, that's nice.
They work good.
So, I think I'm going to request the council would approve the purchase of 10 of those tables.
Yes.
Gives a good start. It'd be $49.98, so you'd be looking at, what do you do that? Right at $500 plus tax. Tax fee. 10 of them.
And we'll save on shipping, cause I don't mind to go down and pick them up.
Okay.
Right, on my, I'm down there anyway.
So what resolution number would that be? 36. So the resolution would be R 2021-36, be a resolution to appropriate, and I'm just gonna say to be on the safe side, $575 should cover taxes for the purchase of 10 commercial grade tables for Hector Parks and Recreation and events. They will come out of the general fund. So does somebody be willing to make a motion for that resolution R 2021-36? So we have a motion by Earlene, we have a second. By JW, all in favor?
Mm-hmm.
It's unanimous.
You think our kids keep them safe?
I'll work on that resolution when we get finished here. All right, anything else, Andy?
I can't think of, we're gonna do another movie about the first or second weekend in November.
Okay.
Let Halloween get past, so I'm not conflicting with anybody else, and then we'll do another one. We did one the night, we did the chili cook-off, and it went over really good. The kids loved it, sitting out there on their blankets watching the movie.
What's not to that?
Yeah, they enjoyed it. Of course, I had borrowed a popcorn machine, and it went over really good.
Oh, yeah.
Popcorn at the movie.
Yeah.
There we go. Okay. All right, so we're going to get those ordered. Now if we get those in, and I'll get with Amanda, and she can get with you and figure out how we're going to get those picked up or whatever we need to do. All right.
We don't apologize.
Yeah, I can take it down to you.
All right. Next item on the agenda is going to be old business. Old business. So the first thing I have is going to be reference to the storm siren. So this has been kind of a saga here on getting this thing installed, but I believe that we're within about a week or two of having the pole in the ground. Talked to the highway department today. The permit has been approved. They should have it here by tomorrow or Wednesday. Myself and Chief Hubbard went and actually sprayed the right of way where the pole's going to be going this evening for utilities lookup or Arkansas One Call. All that gets approved by Friday, they may be putting the pole get the poles in. So I'll also talk with, at least there's one individual that lives right there beside where it's going in. I've talked to them and they're okay with it going in that location. It's going to be on a state right of way anyway. They still wanted to look and kind of know what was going on. And they were actually kind of excited about expanding some of that coverage from the storm siren down south. So hopefully we'll have that in. Has anybody have any questions on that? Okay. I don't have anything else on old business. They will, and it's an I think it's called an omnidirectional, so it's like has, this one that we have now rotates. This one right here is omnidirectional, so it has, yeah, they go all the way around. And it's supposed to be a mile radius from this location. So it should cover, all of Hector should be covered by siren. So. All right, and it'll be nice to have that up.
Yeah.
And we can put that to bed. Next item I have is going to be a new business. I spoke with JW. I was just seeing that Dollar General. We talked about potential maybe of the city sponsoring a fall cleanup, and I think we actually talked about a fall cleanup in the spring. I may be doing an additional one in the fall. If I remember correctly, our dumpsters are running somewhere around 500 each. Is that about right? Or 600? Like 6.
I think we got 2 for 1100.
Say that again.
2 of them for 1100.
2 for 1,100.
So we had last time. She'll probably do that again.
Yeah, so we may get with her, but I'm just gonna tell y'all that the last two times we've done this, we open it one day, dumpsters were full that day.
That's right.
We have
So-
people from everywhere was the problem, bringing stuff out here.
Yeah, they come from Appleton and everywhere.
So, I mean, I don't have a one out like, but somebody's gonna arrest him for it. That's,
The
yeah.
county don't do it anymore.
The county doesn't, they used to, or my understanding is the county basically they'll take trash all the time, but you have to take it there. They don't do it anymore?
They'll take tires and recycle stuff.
And
They
recycle
won't
stuff.
take anything else.
So, yeah, I mean, my thing was if we're gonna do 3 or 4 or whatever, I mean, my suggestion is if we're gonna do it, let's do it.
Yes.
I don't wanna get too filled up and have to make phone calls and have to keep extending it. I wanna go.
Yeah.
Now the question is, where could we put these dumpsters where they could be secured? So, there wasn't any really much access to them until we opened it and then we would close it. That's kind of the issue I'm running into.
Can you put it on this report?
The gates, we put the gates.
We could, but there's not much traffic there, and we've had some issues down there, and I don't really want that to be a place where it's not going to be watched. Or, I can see it driving by my house,
If it wasn't.
but I'm not going to be driving down
If
to
it
it.
wasn't even being used.
Yeah.
It would be.
So
We got 3 left.
we got 3. So. It's one of the reasons I really want this back area fenced in and secure. We can put them back there and open and close it. Right behind City Hall here.
Does Ron and him have a bunch of stuff in the bullpen?
You know what?
In their bullpen, over there behind the shop?
I doubt they could do that because they'll be bringing cars and everything.
Yeah, and there'd be probably some
Not
liability for
busy,
them.
yeah.
So,
That's the only thing I can think of that locks.
well, here's what I would say is we're gonna do it like the last time. We can put some sort of secured fencing across the street back there, close it off, over to the fire department. Does that make sense? So you can't drive all the way back there to it. You basically have to stop and people could go around it. But we just have to let them know that if anybody went around it, it could be prosecuted for trespassing. If they dropped anything that they may get cited for littering, it goes in the dumpster at the prescribed times that we set.
We wanted to do it for people in a certain zip code or something like that.
I don't think necessarily do with the zip code, but I'm gonna say it is for the Hector community. I mean,
So
what
can you
does
do
that
that
mean?
as like the school?
That's your mean
Go
Uh,
ahead, directors.
Yeah, if you, basically you need to have a Hector.
I mean,
Zip
if we have
code.
some bad state, that's
I mean, are we gonna,
I'm gonna have to hire
somebody to watch
that
it?
was the problem we had last time.
Yeah, we have, I don't know, but it's just one of those things.
They
Keep
abuse
trying to
it.
do
You do something good for them, they abuse it.
So
Just the way it goes.
we can probably get that worked out. I would just like to set that off. What are we thinking that maybe if we want to do this, what do we think that we may want to do this? Calendar here. We couldn't do it this one. We really don't want to do it the week of the 29th because that's Halloween and they'll be having Fall Fest or their haunted trail there and that sort of stuff. So the next week would be like, say, the week of November 6th.
That's still a long night basketball game.
Yeah.
What
Well,
about 13th?
opening week deer season.
Now, my state's the
I'm
traffic.
I think about a week behind. I thought it was the 20th.
Oh,
The
yeah.
world in Arkansas shuts down.
So, no, and I wouldn't mind. I mean, we could do it on we could do it on the 6th. I mean, dumpster's just gonna stay there. We'll close it down at
The game's
probably
at
at 6 o'clock.
Oh, yeah, it's gonna be at the gym too.
Yeah.
That's on the other side.
Yeah. So I mean, we would be okay if we want to do it the week. But what days we want to do it, how many we want to do. My suggestion is we're gonna do it. Might as well do at least 3 of them.
Yeah.
Maybe 4. I mean, they'll keep them here, right? Until they're full. I mean, what do y'all think?
No, 2 will cut it.
They can. 2 will not cut it. They never have. So I would say do 4, and I would say bring 2, let them fill up, bring the other 2. If you guys want to, they're gonna run us around $2,200. And then I'll get something and set up that way. We would open it. It would be open like from 8 o'clock in the morning until 6 o'clock in the evening. And we could do it actually probably like that. Maybe try to have them delivered that Friday, Thursday or Friday. And we have we would open it the next day. So theoretically, we'd be open say Friday, Saturday. Would not be open Sunday. Well, should it? I mean, some people are off that day.
Are we supposed to fall back 7th? Is that?
Yeah.
Fall back.
At 2 in the morning.
So we can just say it'll be open like from 8 a.m. until 6 p.m. That week. So we'll say the week of, let's say the 4th. If I'm not mistaken, if we get from the same place, they actually are closed on Saturday or Fridays, aren't they? Like, the place we got it from, what's the name of it?
Hastings.
Hastings, okay. Let's see, something new. So we could do it, let's just say open at, November 6th through November 13th. It'd be Saturday through Saturday. Or the 6th through the 14th, or until they're full. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Now, we did 4, I believe, in the spring, right? The first 2 filled up really fast. The last 2 kind of slowed down a little bit. So I would like to bring 2, and then once they're full, I can pick those up and bring 2 more. Okay, do that okay?
Which you might if we don't need them.
Yeah. Yeah. We'll just do, if the council would approve 4 of them, we can kind of play that as we go.
Okay.
So, I mean, that's just a suggestion on days and times. If you guys want to do something different, you do something different. I just don't want it to be a free-for-all where it's open 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Because then we'll be picking up trash off the ground. So, and we may actually even try to set up where it's surveillanced. So, to make sure people aren't. Because I mean, I've seen people throw tires and stuff when they're not supposed to be there. Now, we'll get with, I could get with the recycle. Well, no, I'm probably not going to do that. We'll wait until the spring. Talk to the recycling place there in Clarksville. They'll bring a trailer over. They didn't seem too thrilled about it though. So maybe wait in the spring on that one because you can actually take tires to the our Volcano Road Department. I think each family gets 4. I don't remember what it is, but that's what it's funded by the money you pay on your tires. So you have to pay that fee. So
Size fee or whatever it is.
So what's everybody's thoughts? We want to do a fall cleanup.
Sounds good.
And do we want to do 4?
I guess it'd be safe to do 4. See if it did fill up real quick. We've already did that.
We'll just do the same thing. We'll tell
I know
them.
we didn't want it to spring, like I said, it filled up real quick. Since we're just wanting it to fall, you know, will it fill up just quick, or will it be?
Yes.
Probably.
Well,
But that's the thing, we're going to, and then if there's some chance they don't, the council just approves that expenditure on 4, doesn't mean we have to use on 4. We tell them that we're potentially gonna get 4, we're gonna start out with 2, and then if, they go up, then we'll go for another 2. So.
And they can always bring an empty one out when they pick the one up and have one there.
Yeah.
Go ahead and start again.
Mm-hmm. So.
I might actually use it this time.
Do what? You may?
Never made it. Then we quit.
So we'll say November 6th. So November 6th.
And the 13th.
13th. And then we'll say from basically 8 a.m. to 6 p.m. Now, we'll say 8 a.m. and let me kind of play with the time it's going to close because I probably will get somebody to watch that. And I obviously don't want somebody having to have somebody sit there for 10 hours. So,
It gets dark.
you know, it'll be getting dark earlier, so, or we can say, hey, there's typical business hours. Since it's gonna be open throughout the weekends, we'll say 8 a.m. to 4. Let's just say 4 p.m.
It's usually pretty dark at 5 o'clock.
And so it'll be, R 2021-37, is it right? It'll be, council, approving expenditure not to exceed, we're paying taxes on that. Okay, $2,200, for the Hector Fall Cleanup to be held, from November the 6th until November the 13th from 8 a.m. to 4 p.m. or until we've utilized all 4 dumpsters. And then it will close. Does that make sense? Any questions on that?
I thought it went over real good next time. I was tickled.
Yes, and no, yeah. So, okay, so that resolution's on the table, R 2021-37. Does anybody want to make that motion? The motion by JW, have a second. Arlene, all in favor? Okay, so we'll get that set up. Last thing I have on the agenda here is going to be for the city council to start thinking about budget items or issues for 2022, because myself and Sandy will probably start working on the budget. Maybe try to provide something to you by email. Maybe try to be able, depends on when you see in October. Okay.
Should be able to.
So let's just say by the end of November, should have you, may have to email you. I don't know if we'll have it by because I think the November meeting is like November the 15th. So maybe you have to go by email, email you a copy of the proposal that you guys can look at because we'll have to pass that budget in December. Any questions on that? So start thinking about maybe some things that you may be interested in expenditure wise. And we can anticipate we should be able probably to have like maybe a projected carryover in revenue for 2022 by the meeting.
What's happened with the Wi-Fi?
With the Wi-Fi.
Yeah, with the internet that's supposed to be getting in here.
You're talking about for that broadband?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so we're still waiting on rules to be written Here's kind of the deal that I ran into, and we'll just get into that. Number one, there should not be any type of expense to the city. But this broadband or Rural Connect is looking to place these minimum download and upload speeds for internet in these areas. I can tell you that in Hector, the city limits, there are at least 4 providers that already provide the minimum upload and download. Some of them can provide much higher than that. So I anticipate that Hector will not be approved for any funding for that. So, I don't want us to be in a position here where we're kind of weakening we're watering down the tea or whatever. We're watering it down because we have individuals that are here that they're in business. Why would we want to bring somebody else in to water that down? Something will have to give. If they're already providing basically the same types of services, the upload and download speeds and the price point is relatively, I just don't see Hector get involved in something that really none of your business being involved in.
What's the better one for Hector? Because CenturyLink.
Well, CenturyLink is different. CenturyLink just actually laid fiber down Pine Street. Now, almost all internet right now is like point to point. You're not going to see many wired fiber. Most of it, at least in rural areas, is going to be your kind of site to side or point to point internet or area, I don't know what they call it.
But surely our city can get better service than on and off.
Well, right now the city has a franchise agreement with CenturyTel. We have for long time. So they actually.
It's not a hat, but it's on and on.
Well, and so the hope here eventually for Hector is that Hector will have fiber in the ground. I know that there's been plans in place for that. Don't know when or if that will happen. I think at some point it probably will happen, but I can't answer when. And then it's going to make really all the other moot. You know what I'm saying? Because you put infrastructure in, and if they bring fiber in here, it won't be worth anything. I mean, it would give people some competition, but at the same point, fiber in the ground is like the pinnacle of internet service. So I'm not saying we're not going to do anything at this point. I'm just going to say that number one, we're waiting on the rules to be written on how the money is going to be expended. Number two, again, I believe I brought this up about a couple of months ago, is if the city decides they want to look into this and we want to partner with somebody, it's been highly recommended that you bring everybody in that wants to do that and you give them a forum to say what they're going to do. And then you vote on that in public. And that's what we would have to do. Which I'm good with that, if that's what the council wants to do. Like I say, my recommendation at this point is that we not do anything until the rules have been drafted and we know exactly what we're looking at. And then we have to decide is it's something that would benefit the city of Hector. So.
We just got T-Mobile at our house.
Did you?
We like it.
There's T-Mobile was providing service here now. We have lots of different folks. I can tell you that some of them can offer up to 50 megabytes download speed in Hector right now. I get really good internet through CenturyTel or CenturyLink or decent, and my internet I get less than probably 20 megabytes download speed, and I can run TVs, phones, laptops, everything.
Right.
So 50 is good as internet.
Because he'll be on order parts or stuff that he has to have somebody's tractor or lawnmower or something. And then we lost it. Gotta go back. You get angry about it.
And I'll just tell you though, if again, I do want to add this and we'll move on. But if we did decide that we wanted to look into that, I think that the city needs to give priority to individuals that live in Hector or in this area.
I agree.
As long as they can provide the same service with this, same types of costs. Because what you're doing basically is you're just creating competition. That's all it is.
Yeah.
Because even if we partner with somebody, it's not going to stop somebody else from doing the same thing. And then it's going to come down to the price and what people want to buy. So price and speed. So you could have 10 here, and it just depends. You know. So the city has nothing to do with it. We're just a mechanism for those individuals to basically get money for infrastructure. That's what we're doing.
Right.
Sometimes that's not a bad thing. And this may not be a bad thing, but I want to make sure we know what we're doing before we stick our hand in the cookie jar.
Provider, we want to do this.
Yeah.
We got a problem.
We're guaranteed.
So, yeah.
Missouri.
All right. Does anybody have anything else?
Is there an update on the, grant writer?
Grant writer is something that we're going to put into the 2022 budget. So right now it's kind of a lull in grant writing season. So no sense in us necessarily spending our money right now. So we do still have a couple of grants pending. But you're not going to see any grants being written, during this time. So we will enter that. If anybody's aware of somebody that may be interested, send them my way. And we're looking for somebody that has at least some municipal experience, that has some experience in those types of grants. And the last thing I'll say before we move on here is again, we're going to get some events that are happening with the say it again, hometown harvest.
The city's doing, I think we're doing a movie that night too.
Okay.
We're gonna do a movie, we're doing a hang ride, and then we're hoping.
Down Harvest Square?
So this will be October 30th. This will all be free for everybody to come. Bring your kids. You'll have a place to go. They can trick or treat. You can eat. You can have be entertained. And
The church is providing, I think, hot dogs and food and stuff too.
Okay. Then also want to point out the fire department's fundraiser with the haunted trail. It's a big fundraiser for them, and
It starts
this weekend it's really fun. I've been through it a few times, and it's a fun trail to go through. If you've never been through it, you want to give it a shot anyway. So,
Prepare to be scared.
Yes.
I said my heart won't take it.
Mine won't either.
Yes, this weekend and next weekend, too.
We're being busy across the street.
So that's about all I've got. Anybody have anything else? If not, we can go ahead and review the bills for the month. And then we'll adjourn here shortly. So we're good. We're doing that business.